When we first started our business, we made a lot of mistakes.
Tons.
We actually wish that we had someone who had told us what not to do more than telling us what to do. So in this video, for our fellow business owners and entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners, we are going to break down the 5 things we wish we knew before starting our business so you can avoid the mistakes we made. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to our channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm.
We need a physical algorithm.
An algorithm?
Break it.
So this one is for the business owners and entrepreneurs, those who are just starting, or those maybe you'll actually relate if you're already all the way into.
Yeah.
Because man, you know it's hard in the beginning. And
not easy.
We made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, and we just want to make sure that, just like with social, we want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. We also want to do that for our fellow entrepreneurs as well. So if you are just starting a business or you're newer in your business, there's going to be a lot of very useful, what we hope is very useful information for you. So definitely stay tuned. Let's grab a coffee.
Yep.
And let's get started.
Alrighty guys, the first thing we wish, oh my god, I wish I knew this, before we started a business was how freaking taxes work. So as an employee, which I had been my whole life up until starting High Season, you're not really aware of the taxes that get removed. And I'm talking like the personal taxes. You get your paycheck minus tax. Sometimes you look at it, you're like, damn, that's a lot of money they take away. But you don't think about that when you become either a contractor, a freelancer, or a full-time business owner like ourselves, where everything comes through a business, like an enterprise, you actually have to keep that money yourself, and you are responsible for it. Now, while we were sort of aware of it, and we became more aware of it once you hit a certain threshold in Canada, you have to register for a GST, and here in Quebec it's a QST number. So then you can start charging businesses the tax on top of your fee, and essentially makes you an agent of the CRA, which is good times, I guess.
Yeah.
But the one thing we didn't know, and this is the thing that really hurt us, and we've kind of touched on it before, we weren't aware of that 30% that you had to, approximately 30% you had to keep aside. So that figure varies per province or state or country or whatever. But
and how much your personal income tax ends up being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that our business structure is specifically set up, we were sort of recommended after the fact, after learning the hard way, to put aside 30%. So you say you make $1,000, you take $300, you pop that in a tax account that you don't touch until the end of the year, which is, I mean, at least you can earn some interest on it.
Yeah.
But we learned the hard way. We did a couple years of taxes at once. We were behind. And once we got the figure owing, we nearly dropped.
It was a rough beginning.
Yeah.
It was a rough beginning.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was really, really tough.
Yeah.
And, we'd been operating at a reasonable level as well at the time. We had some pretty big clients. And we still made that mistake. So the one thing that we don't really get taught this in school unless you actually study to be an accountant. You don't really get taught how these things work. You don't get taught how to be an entrepreneur. We didn't really come up with a specific mentor that was guiding us. We had friends, we had peers and colleagues, but we didn't really have a mentor to be like, hey guys, make sure you keep that 30%.
And our accountant before wasn't fantastic.
No, we have some fantastic, we shout them out full of land.
Now we have great accountants, they're awesome.
That was our big learning, and we had to really work that out, and that was a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, particularly, you're trying to run a business, you're trying to, keep on top of social media, which is an ever-changing landscape.
Yeah.
The platforms keep changing their algorithms and their rules, and all these different, new ones, TikTok and stuff are coming up. You got to try and stay on top of everything, and then we're not trained accountants, so how are we supposed to know this stuff? Some people are just aware of it. Maybe they've been exposed to it more. Neither of us were, and no other friends even mentioned it to us. And not that we are responsible for knowing that type of stuff. We were very, very disappointed to learn how the real world works. So please find out what tax rules you have based on your business structure and put the money aside beforehand. It'll save you many, many, many headaches
and
at tax time. All aches.
All the aches.
At tax time every year.
The next thing we wish we knew before starting our business was the benefit of optimizing, outsourcing, and automating things, okay? So when we first started, when we were thinking about, it kind of came off what you said about the accountant.
Yes.
Back in the day when we were doing our taxes, we were using like these daunting spreadsheets, like Google Sheets, putting everything in manually, having to type out what everything was, and it's just doing all these calculations. It was taking up so much time, and time that was away from what we could be doing our best, which was learning about the business, gaining our knowledge, providing services to our clients. So it was just really a time drainer and sucker. So what do? We got QuickBooks. QuickBooks is an awesome service that allows you to do all your bookkeeping in there. You can actually automate how your receipts come in, which is very cool. They have really interesting features there. But track all your expenses, submit all your payroll information if you have people on payroll. Also allows you to file your taxes from there, so your accountant can basically pull all the information and file for you. There's a ton of amazing features in there, and it's really great. You can also invoice your clients from there as well. So I really that was such a saver for us. Changed the game for us, and it's not that expensive. It's a pretty good price. I don't remember the cost really, but we'll put a link in the description so that you can click through and check it out if it's something that you need to start tracking your expenses and also having an easy way to invoice your clients. So that's something when you think about optimizing, that was something that we did really well in terms of optimization. Another thing I would say is social. So we're social media managers, of course. Back in the day, and a lot of people still do this, we were manually posting or using less robust software. So for example, we have to do a lot of reporting for our clients. So we had something where it was we were manually going in the back end of reporting. Another software we were using was publishing for us. It was just all these things that were mixed up just to save money, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
But you have to really think about what is time versus money, right? So just because we could pay $10 to publish, the time that we were spending going in the back end and having to pull from each platform individually to get the stats we need
what a headache.
was costing us time that we could be billing for our clients. So it didn't really make sense. So getting Sprout Social just changed the game. We can do all of our social media management from there, including publishing, messaging, conversations, monitoring comments, social listening, and reporting, all in one software. So it was very much optimizing and automating, because now the posts just go out nice and smoothly, and we get to focus on engagement and just nurturing our clients' communities, as opposed to thinking about what to post every day and then also just going out and having to manually post everything all the time.
Outsourcing was the other one.
Outsourcing, so we outsource to accountants, so that's one thing. We also outsource to content creators. So although we can create content ourselves, you're watching something that's us, hello. It doesn't always make sense for us to do that, and you really should lean into the skill sets that you have. So although we can put videos out and we can do photography, and I love photography, it's not the number one thing that I do. So it makes more sense to hire the best person who's going to do the best job most efficiently at a higher quality for our clients instead of us doing it.
Yeah.
So depending on what makes the most sense, although we love creating content for ourselves, when it comes to our clients, we outsource content creators. We have photographers and videographers in the cities that we operate in most frequently who actually go out and capture the content and then send it to us. So we do the treatment and we do the shot lists, but then we send someone out there who's more qualified than we are to make better content.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to struggle and do something just to save money if it's going to hurt you on the other side of the end in time.
Yeah.
Time is something you can never get back, and it's much more valuable than any dollar amount.
All right, the next thing we wish we knew before we started a business was don't be an anything company. As they say, the riches are in the niches, which I hate pronouncing it that way. It's niche. Generally, when people start, particularly an agency like ourselves, going into social media is we can do social, sure, whatever your business is. We were taking anybody. We had no particular
barrier or discerning.
That's what we're looking for. We would just sort of, if they came to us and they had the budget and they seemed cool, we would do it. That was for the first 6 months, maybe 12 months or so, until we started realizing what we liked. And over time, and as we have sort of evaluated and kind of researched other successful businesses, particularly in our field, we realized that niching down was genuinely the key. So beforehand, we would do social, like I said, for anyone. Now we've essentially gone with an umbrella of what we'll kind of call hospitality, leading from travel, hotels, food and beverage, focusing more detailed on craft beer and wine. We would do spirits, coffee, cafes, because we realized that these things are areas that we're passionate about, that we are personally interested in, and that we understand the culture of the industry. For example, the craft beer industry, being that we have a craft beer podcast, we are in this really interesting position, being that we're social media marketers with a ton of experience and also a bit of a fixture in the craft beer scene here in North America, that we know nobody, like I'm gonna sound like Trump there, knows more about craft beer in our field than I guess us. So we're really like positioned ourselves well to move in that niche strongly and to be able to make a genuine dent, because we can speak the language of the audience in a way that other agencies would have to learn about that. So one thing that we've found is, on top of niching down, and that's made our quality, our work has become better, and we're able to sort of do it more effortlessly because we understand it.
Get so deep in the industry, so that it's like you become perfect at this
rather than width.
Exactly.
And that's really what a lot of people say. It's all about going deeper in fewer things than wider and trying to do too many things. On top of that, though, when it comes to something, say, like consulting or our social media playbook, where we would give a client a customized guide on exactly what to do top to bottom on all the networks, content categories, how to fix up your bios,
all the
best
tools,
practices, hashtag banks, content calendars, everything. We can do those for other industries because at the end of the day, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's giving advice. It's consulting.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, and we can still see through what they need to change and fix and keep or whatever. But when it comes to actually doing it, when we are the voice of your brand and our team are the voice of your brand, it's a lot harder if it's something that we don't know much about or we're not that interested in or we're not that experienced in. So basically, niching down has shown us a lot of value, and I feel like it's carried on to our clients. So I would definitely recommend that maybe while everybody starts not knowing, I feel like if we knew beforehand, we had a lot of those skill sets.
Come out as just something in one industry.
Exactly.
Niche down so you can level up, like that?
That's how you end that.
The next thing that we wish we knew before starting our business is, if it ain't a hell yes, it's a hell no. Okay? And this is actually true for business, but everything in life. At every single point in time that we had a doubt about taking something and we did, it always came back to bite us in the, know what? I don't know if we swear on this channel yet. We're going to decide whether we'll swear on this channel.
We'll keep it clean for the kids.
We'll keep it clean for now. Always, without question. And it always happens to be that the people who nickel and dime you, who don't want to pay you what you're worth, they're always the ones that are going to demand the most from you. It's always that way.
Every time.
So if you are not super excited about a project, if you are not interested in what's coming your way, or if somebody's pushing you or coercing you into doing something that you do not want to do, say no. Other opportunities will come your way. It is not worth the stress, the headache, the heartache, all the aches. There's a lot of aching. It was a lot of aching in the beginning,
it really
right?
was.
There are certain opportunities that we took in the beginning that just didn't make sense, and we kind of knew we shouldn't, but we did, and they just never really turn out well. It's also like a negative energy that's out there that you don't want to really have out there. It's like you can't let a client bully you into something. It doesn't make sense. You're the one with the service that they need. So if they don't want to take your service, they can take themselves over to another person and get the services from them.
We learned that trusting our gut is one of the most important things, and sometimes it's the hard decisions. Sometimes we've
left money on the table, guys. Okay, we have left some money on the table. But however, we still end up being a multiple six-figure business while still leaving money on the table. Okay, that didn't make us crumble. We didn't fall. We went through some hard times every now and then, but you do what you do to maintain your integrity and to do what we love. We're not all leaving jobs to come and do something we don't love and build our own prison. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. All right, the next mistake that we wish we knew before we started a business was that every business should be in the media business. So what we mean by that is every business should be creating content like we are now in order to expand the brand. So we were blogging from the start. From the very first year we went full-time in 2015, we went hard on blogs. We went extra hard on blogs, actually. And then as we got busier with the work, we weren't able to keep up and we did it more sporadically. Now, we knew that we needed to create content. So we were aware. But in 2015, when we started, we have our podcast, but we didn't even start the video side of the podcast until 2016 because someone who we respected in the marketing business told us to. And we're like, all right.
Yeah.
But we didn't decide to apply it to high season. I wish that we had have thought of it then, or at least had the guts to kind of do it. I mean, everything takes their time, but I feel like if you're starting a business, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you can document your journey. You don't have to, like right now, we've been operating a business full-time for almost 5 years. We have an impressive client list, and I feel like we have earned the right to be able to share the value that we have been able to pass on to our clients.
I think in the beginning we didn't think we had the value,
right?
But it would have been valuable, I'm sure, to other people in the same position as us to follow along as well and have the resource, because we didn't have anybody that we were watching.
That's
so
true.
we underestimated the value of that.
Our knowledge.
Yeah.
That was the one thing. We didn't feel like exactly right. And I felt like sometimes we might share the information that to us is like 101, and people are like, whoa. And we're like, really?
We're like,
that's
oh,
helpful?
wow, we should have been telling people this. Yeah.
That kept happening, I think, via maybe just talking to people.
Yeah.
And like
that's why we started this channel, really.
It's
because, so we were never thinking of it as like hey, we need to put out content. Even though we know we always just don't practice what you preach. It just happens that way. We tell our clients to do video. We make them do video and photography, all this stuff. And we just didn't do it ourselves. Yeah. But the reason we really started is because everybody was always asking us questions all the time. Yeah. And then we'd give them like a spiel on something and they're like, what? Mind blown. And we were like really?
Oh, okay.
We just thought it was like normal information. But of course, to us, because we live and breathe it every day, it's standard information. Just like an accountant running something off to you is standard to them. But for us, we're like, whoa, had no idea. So it's the same thing. We were taking it for granted. Yeah.
So it took a little bit, but we got there eventually. So I would recommend to any business owner in whatever phase you're in, if you're just starting, document your journey. Yeah. You don't have to position yourself as, I'm doing the Barack, the president thing. You don't have to position yourself as a professional or an expert in any shape or form, but share what you're learning along the way, because people want to follow that. They like the narrative, and they see themselves in that. Yeah. If you are more experienced and you've been around for a while, jump on something like whatever format feels right for you, whether it's video, whether it's images or social or a podcast or whatever, and share that information. Because, we can give value this way. It makes us feel good that we're putting it out here. We're trying to document all the different things that we've learned on our YouTube channel in the most succinct and sort of accurate way as possible. And you might not think you have anything interesting to say, but you'd be surprised.
All right, guys, those are the 5 things we wish we had known before starting our business. Yeah. Let us know if there's any other entrepreneurial content that you want us to talk about. And if we have any fellow entrepreneurs in the house, leave a comment below. Let us know what you do. Share the love in the comment section. Yeah. It's a great way to connect with each other there and to connect with us as well.
I'd like to know, I want to know if anyone has anything that they wish they knew before they started their business. That's cool. Because this is really interesting for us to see other people's perspective on this.
Maybe we're still making a mistake we don't know about even 5 years later.
Well, there's not even
I'm sure.
Of course
they are.
And it might even help somebody else. So hopefully our mistakes help some people. And if you guys have made some mistakes that you could share, leave them in the comment. Like you said, it's a nice little place to connect and people can learn off each other. So do that. I apologize. Continue.
Oh, no worries at all.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. If you enjoyed this video today, give us a thumbs up to let us know you like what we are doing. And if you've made it this far, basically towards the end of the video, which means you love the content,
come on now,
hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. We have a ton of existing content and more content coming on entrepreneurialism, and we also have social media videos, tons of them.
Tons of keep watching.
And it's always beneficial for any business owner, right? You got to know how to either do your social media yourself or outsource it, get all the tips you need. So we have videos for that. We'll put all the links to resources, including playlists, in the description below. Follow us everywhere if you'd like to connect at High Season Co. And check out our blog post at highseasonco.com. And until next time, my friends.
Peace.